Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to install doors into your floor plan. If time permits, we may look at doing some windows. We'll see how we do for time. But as you can see, we've got a different style of floor plan again. So we're looking at an L shape plus the interior walls already in place. This represents the bathroom. This space will represent the galley kitchen. This space will represent the sitting room. And there's a very generous storage room on this pool house, which will go here. But before we can do anything, we need to go to the hub and go to the architectural design pool house module, of course, and scroll down until we get to windows and doors. Now there's a descriptor here. It basically explains what I'm going to demonstrate, so I'm not going to read it. I'll let you read it when you go to the hub to download your file. But I will read this part. Exterior doors are 36 inches and interior doors are 34, 32, or 30 inches, but no smaller. So, please adhere to this. Right, so the door that you access the pool house from the outside should be the largest in terms of width, and then interior doors are slightly smaller. Typically, in a store, like entering a storage room from the inside, we would have a 34-inch door, but your bathroom may include a smaller door. It may include 32 inches or 30 inches. So, first thing you're going to do is click Doors and Windows and download this AutoCAD drawing. And then click on it, open it up, hit Open, and we have the windows and doors. So I want you to copy everything in to your floor plan. So you're going to draw a box from top right to bottom left, right click, click Clipboard, copy, and then go back to your floor plan and right click, left click, clipboard, paste. And just drop that here. Now, this isn't something that needs to be deleted. This isn't something that should bother us being in model space. Now, we haven't really talked about model space too much, even though it's all we've ever worked in since the semester began. But this black background, this model space, you need to consider it like it's the universe. There's infinite model space to model anything you want to draw or design in AutoCAD. Later, we're going to learn paper space, which is used as a presentation space only, where we basically take snapshots of what we've designed and we present it in title blocks. So we won't talk about that today. That will come later. But I just wanted to give you an explanation as to why you should leave all these doors and windows sitting in model space. And if it doesn't make sense now, it'll make sense at a later time. But let's zoom in and take a look. We have our exterior doors. This is for outside, indoor, outdoor entry. We have brick wall, stucco wall, and siding wall. So you have to select the door style that corresponds with the wall section you picked. So this represents window glass on each side of the door, right? You can have this on both sides of the door. You can have this only on one side of the door, or you don't have to have it at all, right? It's up to you. You could mix and match these depending on how many exterior doors you're going to have on your pool house. Now, interior doors are meant for a 5.5-inch wall, something we discussed in the previous video. So I would be using a 34, a 32, or a 30 for interior space. I would not be using a 26 or a 24. These are too small, really, for person entry, entering, exiting. Especially a 24-inch door. Typically, you would use this on a closet door or some sort of linen closet, right? It's really no reason to keep these doors so narrow. I would say at the narrowest, your bathroom could use a 30-inch door. So think about that. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is offset a line, and we're going to create basically an anchor point to trim and to insert these doors. Now, I'm going to start with an interior door on this bathroom here. So what I'm going to do is go up to the interior doors. I'm going to use the 30-inch. So what I'm going to do is copy this with the copy command above modify, and I'm going to turn ortho off just for a bit, just so I can get this where I want it to be, like that, and enter. Okay. So let's think about this for a second. So let's measure the space of the door. 2 feet, 6 inches, that's the same as 30 inches. Now, we're going to have to rotate this door. I want to put this door right in this space here. So I need to rotate it. Now, see what happens when I do this. So we're going to hit rotate. It says specify base point. I'm going to turn ortho back on, and I'm going to rotate this until I get the orientation that I like. And this is something that I think you were shown in the mechanical design unit for the reversing washers drawing. So you've used rotate before. So when I get the preview I like, I left click, and I have my door in the right orientation for where I want it to go. Now, notice when I float my cursor over this, this is all broken into different entities, which I don't like. I don't want to accidentally lose something or delete something or leave something behind. So what I'm going to do is select it all, and I'm going to go and I'm going to group this. So I'm going to hit the group. So now that I've done that, I've created a group. It's all one thing, no matter where I select it. So I don't have to worry about forgetting anything. Now, this door is going to snap into this interior wall. But how far should it be from the wall, the adjacent wall, the exterior? Well, the best case scenario would be to keep it right against this wall here, but you don't have to. I mean, typically builders would leave it a couple of inches or so away from the wall. I would say you'd want to leave no more than 5 inches from the wall. And I'm going to demonstrate this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset, type 5, enter, offset this line 5 inches. Okay. So what I have now is an anchor here to snap the door in place. So I'm going to go to the Move tool, select my object, hit enter, and I'm going to grab the door at this endpoint and come over and snap it to this endpoint. And now I have the door in the position I need it to be, at the bare maximum from this wall. I could be closer if I want, but this is about as far as you should be. Right? We have to think about space efficiency. We have to think about adding, fixtures in the bathroom. We don't want to, there's no advantage to having the door in the middle of the room so the door swings open into an open airspace. All right. So this line here can be erased because I don't need it now. And what we can do is we can trim the interior wall here. So we can use the trim tool, select the door, right click, and then pick, right click, left click, enter, and I've got my 30-inch door in place. It makes sense that the door would swing along this radius and rest in the open position against an adjacent wall. It doesn't make sense for the door to swing to the open space, nor have the bathroom door open up into the kitchen and possibly create issues for counter space in the galley kitchen or a walkway. Okay, so that's pretty clean. We'll just take a minute. Yeah, so that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to add another door. We're going to add a 34-inch door here to enter the storage room. So this time I'm going to select the 34-inch door. Again, copy it, turn ortho off, come down here, and this is in the correct orientation I want it to be. I just want to mirror it though, right? Because I want the door to rest in the open position along this adjacent wall. So what I'm going to do is select it, group it, and what I can do this time is I'll mirror it. Turn ortho back on though. When I get the preview I like, erase the source, yes or no? Yes, because I don't need the original. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to leave 5 inches of space from this wall here, this exterior wall. So again, I'm going to offset 5 inches. And this time I'm going to move it. So select. I'm going to use this endpoint and snap it here. So do you notice how these doors fit? They fit very wonderfully into these interior walls because they're designed for a 5.5-inch interior wall, which is what you were shown to do. Okay, so this line erases, and we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to be trimming. So we're going to trim, select, right click, left click, again, right click, left click, enter to escape, and now we have our access to our storage room. Now the reason I have the door swinging outside of the storage room is to avoid having difficulty getting the door open, right? This storage room may be filled with all kinds of items, and it makes sense in this case, I think, to have the door open up inside the sitting room, where I think the chances of the door interfering with something is far less. This space could get used up by the door swing the other way. So this is kind of, you got to think about how you want these doors to swing, right? They should always swing against a wall, but think about where they would swing, right? So just kind of think about that, right? There's no 100% right way. It's a 50-50, but this is what I would do if I was designing this house. Okay. Next up, we're going to add an exterior door. We want to be able to access the storage room from the outside, not just the inside. So this is outside. So what we're going to do is grab a stucco wall, because that's what we're using in this particular wall section. So this is a 36-inch door. I'm going to select it, copy it, ortho off, and again, it's in the correct orientation I prefer, but I don't want to open up this door into the storage room, I'm going to want to open it outward. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to group this, and I'm going to mirror it again. Ortho on. Erase the source. Yes. Okay. Same thing. I'm going to offset 5 inches, create a line for an anchor point, select the door, find the move tool, snap from this endpoint to this line here. Okay, very good. Next up, we're going to trim the exterior wall. Notice how this fits the way it should perfectly, right? See how this blue line rests exactly on the outside of the stucco finish, right? This is why everything needs to be done correctly ahead of time. So we're going to trim. Select the door, right click, left click, and there I've got it. Okay, so now I have access to my storage room. From outside, I have access from the sitting room. And it would be nice to be able to access the pool house from the main hub, which is the galley kitchen and the sitting room. So I'm going to add one more door here, and it's going to be another exterior door. And so I'm going to pick a position for it. This door doesn't necessarily need to rest against a wall. Typically a front door or an entry door doesn't need to exactly swing open against an adjacent wall, right? So I'm gonna select a position for it, and if I need to change it later, I can do so. So I'm going to create another offset. This time I'm going to use 14 feet. And I'm going to offset this interior, finish face interior wall over to here, right? That kind of lands me right around where the L begins. Okay. So again, what kind of a door am I going to use? You guessed it. We're going to use another stucco exterior door. Copy. Ortho off. Now, ortho back on. I am going to mirror, even though this is in the correct orientation again, I want to mirror it because I don't want this door to open up into the outside. This is an entry door, typically a door that you use to enter a home, should open up inside the house. It's very uncommon for it to open from outside. The only reason I had the storage room exterior door do that is because it's a storage room. I think of it like a shed. So I'm going to mirror this again. Erase the source. Yes. And I'm going to move this right in line with this anchor line right here. So one thing I need to do is group it. Move from here. Actually, let's cancel that for a second. Okay, I've lost my door for some reason. So I'm gonna try that again. So I'm gonna go stucco wall. Copy. Ortho off. And group and mirror. with ortho back on. Erase the source. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to pick actually this endpoint here. So I'm going to go to move. It says select the objects. Select them, hit enter. And I'm going to select this endpoint. And I'm going to select this endpoint here. And then erase this line. And then again, trim everything. Trim all the wall sections inside. So trim, select the door, right click, and then left click to trim all these lines away. And there I have it. Oh, I also forgot to delete this line, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so there we go. So we have all the doors in place for this pool house design. And I'm probably going to talk about this particular design a couple of more times. I would like to kind of possibly see this design to the end of the floor plan. But I will be selecting some other designs as we go. So try this with your project and feel free to leave me some comments under activity or create a discussion if you'd like in the discussion forum about anything related to this lesson. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later.